Morning, students. Welcome to the session. In this session, we will look into the module 2, and before that, we'll see the phasor representation. So, what is a phase? First thing is what is a phase? The phase is always when we are representing the alternating quantities, we select the certain reference. Okay, here example is reference. Now, uh, that reference and wherever the alternating quantity starts, the time or the angle is called as the phase. Right now, you are seeing the voltage is starting at the same reference point. Okay, so the phase is 0. Let us say if the voltage is starting, let's say pi by 4. If the voltage is starting from here and this is the reference, this is called as the phase of that particular alternating quantity. Okay, and phase difference, that is, now you can see if there are two alternating quantities, then there might be a phase difference. For example, here we have a voltage that is starting from the reference, and what is its phase? Its phase is 0 because it is starting at the reference. If you see the current, okay, it is starting, not starting at the reference, after a angle of phi it is starting. Okay, and this is called as the phase of this current. And what is the phase difference between this current and the voltage? 5 minus 0, that is the phase difference. Okay, that is how we can represent. Now, with this understanding, we can so what is the meaning of this is, we apply the voltage to certain circuit, and the voltage, immediately the current will not start. The When the voltage reaches this value, that is, let us say V1, that time the current will slowly start. Okay, and as the current increases, then the voltage, as the voltage increases, current also increases, so then it will follow the pattern. So this is the current, and this is the voltage. The phase difference between them is angle phi. We can represent it as a mathematical equation. This voltage, because it is starting from the zeroth reference, we can represent that as a V is equal to Vm sine omega t, and current is lagging the voltage. Lagging means what? It is starting after the voltage by an angle phi. So that is how we can represent I is equal to Im sine omega t minus phi, because it is starting late. Suppose if omega t is equal to phi, if I say uh, omega t this angle phi, what is the instantaneous value? This I will put it in omega t is equal to phi, V is equal to Vm sine of phi. So I'm going to get some value. If I put omega t is phi, phi minus phi is 0. At omega t is equal to phi, current is 0. Okay, now phasor representation. This is understanding of phasor representation is very, very important, so that you can understand the AC circuits R, L, C, RLC, RL and RC very, very easily. Now you think this as a OP. Okay, OP is on x-axis, and length of the OP is exactly equal to the peak value. Okay, so and you assume you have a that a phasor, and you are rotating that one anti-clockwise direction. Now at this particular assume that the initially this phasor OP is on the x-axis. So here you will be represented like this, and if I take the projection, that would be projection would be 0. Okay, if I take the projection on this instantaneous y-axis, projection would be 0. Now I will slowly start rotating that phasor. Okay, now this phasor is at this angle theta with reference to the reference at an angle theta. Now if I take the projection, so that projection would be somewhere here. Okay, this angle theta, it has gone through and rotated through the angle theta, and this is the value. And if I rotate this phasor to 90-degree, right, 90-degree, that is when it will achieve the peak value. So if I project that one, it will come as peak value, and this angle would be 90-degree. If I continue to rotate here, again if I take the projection, it would come somewhere here. And if I rotate this phasor to 180-degree, okay, again the projection would be 0, that is pi. And it will continue. Here you will get negative peak and back to zero. Now this as a one phasor, if I rotate it with the angular velocity omega, it is a representative of this alternating quantity, and it is assumed that this phasor will continuously rotate. So right now in the waveform we are just showing one cycle, but it is a continuous cycles is going to get generated. So this phasor representation is more close to the actual representation. Means we think of this line as a rotating line, rotating anti-clockwise, rotating with the speed of omega. Okay, and its projection is a representative of the alternating quantity. That is how we can use represent any alternating quantity as a phasor. Either you can represent it as a peak value or RMS value. Most of the phasor diagrams we saw, we represent it as a RMS value. Now we will take one example and draw the phasor diagram. We already understood this is a voltage which is starting with a zero reference. This is the instantaneous voltage waveform, and after an angle phi, delay of angle phi, the current is starting. And this is the waveform. And if I want to represent it as an equation, this V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and I is mathematically Im sin omega t minus phi. Now, how to represent it as a phasor? Now, on the x-axis is the reference. You draw the Vm, and this is the reference. So this is the phasor for the voltage. Now, if you see here, this phasor is going to rotate, right? Now, at angle 0, this voltage is 0, and when it rotates to angle phi, it will have some value. When this also will rotate through angle phi, so this, when it rotates through angle phi, it will come to 0, so that is when it will start. So this is Im, and lagging by an angle phi, you draw the Im. So this is the phasor representation of the instantaneous value of the voltage and the instantaneous value of the current. So if I ask you to write the equation for this, this is V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and this is I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. So with that understanding, we will see the AC circuits containing the resistance, inductance, capacitance, RL combination, RC combination, RLC combination. Okay, we have a resistive circuit, and to which we have applied a alternating voltage, that is V is equal to Vm sin omega t. It will result in a current I. Okay, we will find out what is the current I, and it will cause a voltage drop of VR across the resistor R. Now, what is the voltage applied? V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and we know similar to the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. We can find the instantaneous in terms of the instantaneous values. Lowercase v is equal to lowercase I into R, or I is equal to V, that is instantaneous value, V is equal to V divided by R. And what is this V? We know that applied voltage V is Vm sin omega t. Therefore, I is equal to Vm sin omega t divided by R, or I can write it as, represent it as I is equal to Vm by R into sin omega t. And what is Vm by R? That is the peak value. Im, that is Vm by R. Therefore, we can represent this equation as I is equal to Im sin omega t, and Im is nothing but Vm divided by R. Now, if you see the equation 3 and equation 1, what is equation 1? The voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and what we got? I is equal to Vm by R, or Im sin omega t. So omega t means what? This voltage is starting from 0, and current is also having omega t. That means what? Current is also starting from the a zeroth reference. We have this equation, Im is equal to Vm divided by R, or in terms of the RMS value. So on both the sides, I'm going to divide it by root 2. Im by root 2 is what? Is I. That is RMS value of the current. Vm by root 2. Okay. Vm by root 2 is nothing but the RMS value of the voltage. So we can represent in terms of the RMS value, VR or V is equal to I into R, where V is the RMS voltage across the resistor, I is the RMS value of the current. Now, if we draw the waveform, You can see this is the voltage, both will start at 0. This is voltage and this is current. Current would be, the peak value of the current would be less than that, because we are dividing Vm by R. So it will be definitely less, but both will be having the same phase difference of 0. That means what? Both are in phase. How to draw the phasor diagram? This is the voltage on the x-axis and current is also on the x-axis. So angle between them is, here we have drawn as two separate lines, or you can draw on the same line. This is VR and here I. That means what? Angle between them is 0. That means what? In case of a pure resistance, the voltage and current will be in phase. Means angle between them is 0. Now, what is the power consumed by the pure resistive circuit? We know instantaneous value of the P is equal to instantaneous value of the voltage into instantaneous value of the current. What is V? Vm sin omega t. I, Im sin omega t. And if you simplify this one, you get equation like this. Okay, Vm Im by 2, some constant part, because Vm is constant, Im is constant, and some fluctuating part, because omega t is there, this will fluctuate. If we want to find the average power over a cycle, what is this equations? This equation is the instantaneous value of the power. If you want to get the average power consumed in one cycle, you have to integrate the it from 0 to 2 pi and divide by the 2 pi. So integration of 0 to 2 pi, the p, okay, this is the p value, this is constant value, and this is fluctuating value. If you integrate this one, you get it as a 0. And here Vm Im 2, everything is constant, 2 pi is constant, it is 1 d omega t, which is omega t 2 pi by 0 to 2 pi. If you substitute that, what we get is P is equal to Vm Im by 2. So what is the power consumed in the pure resistor? P is equal to Vm Im by 2. If I write this 2 as root 2 into root 2, Vm by root 2, Im by root 2. What is Vm by root 2? This is the RMS value of the voltage, that is capital V. And what is the RMS value of the current? Capital Im, that is Im by root 2 is capital I. Therefore, power is equal to voltage into I. So, if they ask pure resistance, draw the circuit diagram, draw the equation for the V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Then what is the current? V is equal to I into R. You get the I is equal to V, instantaneous value V divided by R. Substitute for the V, you get Vm sin omega t. Then you get the equation for the current as I is equal to Im sin omega t. Once you know both are in phase, draw the waveforms, draw the phasor diagram, find the what is the power consumed by this particular component. Now, AC circuit containing pure inductance. Now, we consider a pure inductor having a inductance of L, and we are applying the voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t. When we apply the V is equal to Vm sin omega t, what is the inductor? Inductor is what? It opposes the change in the current. If you remember what is a self-inductance, it is a property of the material by virtue of which it opposes the change in the current. And when we apply the voltage, it is going to create the alternating current I, and continuously that is going to change, the current is going to change, and it opposes. When it is opposing, it produces the counter voltage, which is given by the V is equal to L lower, this should be lowercase, L di by dt. Okay, L di by dt. So this applied voltage V is equal to the voltage, that is EM induced in the inductance. Therefore, this voltage is equal to L di by dt. That we can write it as this L di by dt is equal to nothing but the applied voltage Vm sin omega t. And if I take all these things on the right hand side, L will come to the denominator, dt will go to the numerator. We get d lowercase I is equal to Vm sin omega t dt divided by capital L. If I want to find di is what? A fraction of a current. Then if I want to find the complete value of the instantaneous value of the current, we have to integrate. So if I integrate a di, I get I. So you are going to integrate on both the sides, left hand side and right hand side. Integration of di is I, that is the instantaneous value of the current, then integration of Vm sin omega t dt divided by L. That you get it as I is equal to Vm by L minus cos omega t divided by omega. Omega is constant, isn't it? 2 pi f. F is constant. So you take it outside. This will come as I is equal to Vm divided by L omega. And this minus cos omega t can be represented as sin omega t minus pi by 2. So what is the equation of the current? I is equal to Vm divided by L omega. This is nothing but a Im value. It's a peak value Im into sine omega t minus pi by 2. What is the voltage, applied voltage? V is equal to Vm sine omega t. Meaning what? The voltage will start at 0 reference and current will start minus pi by 2. So current will start after 90 degree. Means voltage will start at 0 and voltage will become maximum when the at pi by 2. At pi by 2 the current will start. Okay, when omega t is equal to pi by 2, pi by 2 minus pi by 2 is 0, the current will slowly start increasing. When voltage becomes 0, current would be a peak. When voltage is a negative peak, current would be a 0, and so on. And this is what? This is Im is equal to Vm by L omega. And what is this omega L? Omega L is nothing but it is called as a inductive reactance XL. Okay, from this equation, Im is equal to Vm by L omega, or we can write it in terms of a RMS value. This divided by root 2, this divided by root 2, this is RMS V, this is RMS I. V by I is equal to omega L. Always remember the ratio of V divided by I is the opposition. And what is this opposition? This is a inductive reactance XL. XL is the opposition offered by the inductor to the flow of the current. X is equal to XL is equal to omega L is equal to 2 pi FL. The same thing from the two equations, it is clear that current lags the voltage by 90 degree or pi by 2. Hence pure inductance, always the current lags the voltage by 90 degree. Remember, in case of a pure inductor, current lags the voltage by 90 degree. How to draw the waveform? First you draw the voltage. This is V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and after 90 degree current will start. The current will start here. I is Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. Just you can continue this and join it back. Okay. Vm by Im is equal to XL. XL is nothing but omega L, that is inductive reactance. XL is also is equal to 2 pi FL, because omega is equal to 2 pi F, and XL is represented as ohms. And what is the power consumed in the pure inductance? P is equal to V into I. These are all instantaneous values. V is given as Vm sin omega t into I is Im sin omega t minus pi by 2. This sin omega t minus pi by 2 can be represented as a minus cos omega t. So we reverse it, minus cos omega t. This is the equation we get, minus Vm Im sin 2 omega t divided by 2. If you want to calculate the average power over one cycle, integrate from 0 to 2 pi, divide by 2 pi, this instantaneous value. And if you do this integration, if you solve this, you get it as 0. So what is the meaning of that? In case of a pure inductance, the power consumed is 0. In the exam, they will ask you the question, perform the analysis of a AC circuit containing a pure inductance, or they will ask, prove that the power consumed in a pure inductor is 0. Both the questions you will be writing the same question. So you are going to draw the waveform, and once you draw the waveform, draw the phasor diagram. How to draw the phasor diagram? It is done initially. So this is the reference. Always reference is voltage. Voltage will start at a 0 and current will lag by 90 degrees. So current is behind 90 degrees. So this is the current. This is how you represent as a phasor diagram. Okay. Next is pure capacitance. Once you understand the way the analysis is being done, same thing can be followed to others. Now you have a pure capacitor, capacitance C connected to voltage source V is equal to Vm sine omega t. Okay, so it will result in a current which is also alternating current. What will happen? The charging and discharging of the capacitor will happen. Now, in case of a capacitor, we know that what is the charge that will be stored on the capacitor, that is given by Q is equal to C into V. What is Q? Q is the total charge, C is the capacitance, lowercase v is the instantaneous value of the voltage that is applied to the capacitor, which is given by V is equal to Vm sine omega t. Okay, therefore I can we can integrate differentiate with respect to time, that is dq by dt, this side both left hand side and right hand side. On the left hand side it is dq by dt, on the right hand side d by dt of c into v. And we know what is dq by dt. Dq by dt is nothing but the current. What is dq by dt? It is the rate of flow of electric charge, which is a current. Therefore I, so this is the next step. I is equal to d by dt of c into v. And we know for a given capacitor, capacitance is a constant. So c is constant. And what we have is the instantaneous value of the voltage v. Therefore, I is equal to c into dv by dt. And what is v? Vm sine omega t. And if we differentiate, Vm is constant, c is constant, they come out d by dt of sine omega t. Okay, differentiation of the sine omega t with respect to t, not omega t, we get it as cos omega t into omega. And cos omega t, how we can represent in terms of sine waveform? Sine omega t plus pi by 2. Therefore I is equal to omega into c into vm. This is nothing but im into sine omega t plus pi by 2. Okay, so when sine omega t plus pi by 2 is equal to 1, means this value is 1, that will be the maximum value of the current. Therefore im is equal to omega c into vm. And from these two equations, so this is the current equation, I is equal to omega c vm sine omega t plus pi by 2. And what is the voltage equation? Voltage equation is v is equal to vm sine omega t. So voltage will start at 0. And if you see here, omega t plus pi by 2. So current will start 90 degree before the voltage starts. What is the meaning of that? In case of a pure capacitance, current leads the voltage by an angle 90 degree. How to represent using the phasor diagram? So this is the reference voltage Vc, that is the voltage across capacitor. And you can see this side it is lagging, and in this side it is current is leading. So current will lead by 90 degree. If you draw the waveform, you will clearly understand what happens when you connect the voltage source. Capacitive reactance, this omega c Vm is the peak value, or I can write Vm by Im is equal to 1 by omega c. This Vm by Im is also equal to V by I, that is the RMS value, is equal to 1 by omega c. And V by I is always the opposition. In case of a capacitance, it is a capacitive reactance, which is the opposition offered to the flow of the current. Therefore Xc, capacitive reactance, is equal to 1 by omega c is equal to 1 by 2 pi fc represented in terms of the ohms. Please remember, the most common mistake that is performed is XL, they will do correctly, XL is equal to omega L 2 pi fl. XC, that also you will put it as omega c is equal to 2 pi fc, that is a mistake. Xc is always 1 upon omega c is equal to 1 upon 2 pi fc. Please take care that you don't make that particular mistake. Okay. And for the waveform, how do we draw the waveform? Current voltage will start from 0. This is V is equal to Vm sine omega t. Now current is leading the voltage by 90 degree. Means what? The minute you connect the voltage source, the current, the capacitor will discharge immediately. You will see the maximum current. Okay, so maximum current, and it will start decreasing as the voltage starts increasing, because the capacitance will start getting charged in the opposite direction. The voltage will start reducing. When this voltage reaches maximum value, current becomes 0. So you have to the current will start here. So if you want to understand how it is starting before pi by 2, just put a dotted line here, and this angle will come as pi by 2. That is how the current I is equal to Im sin omega t plus pi 2 leads the voltage by an angle 90 degree. Remember, in case of a pure resistance, both voltage and current are in phase. In case of a pure inductor, the current lags the voltage by 90 degree. In case of a pure capacitor, current leads the voltage by 90 degree. Okay. Now power. What would be the power? Power consumed is P is equal to V into I. V is Vm sin omega t. I is Im sin omega t plus pi by 2. And this can be represented as cos omega t. And after the simplification, we get it like this. And if you want the average power, integrate from 0 to 2 pi divided by 2 pi. And if you simplify this, you get it as 0. Therefore, the power consumed in a pure resistor is P is equal to Vi. Power consumed in the pure inductor, P is equal to 0. Power consumed in the pure capacitor, P is equal to 0. So in case of a pure capacitor and pure conductor, it does not consume any kind of a power. So here we have a simple problem. 3.18 microfarad capacitor is connected across 230 volt. 230 volt is nothing but the RMS value. Frequency is 50 hertz. System determine capacitive reactance, that is XC, RMS value of the current, that is capital I. Equation for voltage and current means I, lowercase v, we have to find. Once you get the capacitance, first you find the XC, and because frequency is given, write all the given values. 3.18 microfarad, 3.18 into 10 raised to minus 6 farad. Always put it in farad, never keep it in millifarad or microfarad. Always put it in a farad. F is 50 hertz, V is 230 volt, that is the RMS value of the applied voltage. We know XC is equal to 1 by omega C is equal to 1 by 2 pi FC. If you substitute that, you get XC as 10 ohm. And what would be the current? You should always use the form V is equal to IR. Remember, V is equal to IR in DC circuit. In case of a AC circuit, V is equal to I into Z, or V is equal to I into R if it is a resistance. V is equal to I into XC if it is a capacitor. V is equal to I into XL if it is a pure inductor. V is equal to I into Z if it is a RL, RC or RLC. Therefore, V is equal to I into XC. I is equal to V by XC. 230 divided by 10, we get it as 23 ampere. And now we have to write the equation for the current and the voltage. For writing the equation, we have to have the peak value. We should know the peak value, and also we should know the what is the omega value. So omega is already 2 pi f. F is given, that will come as 314. And how to find the Vm? We already we know the RMS value. Using this RMS value, we can find Vm. So Vm is equal to Vrms into root 2, that is 230 into root 2, that is 325.27. Im is IRMS into root 2, we get it at 32.53. Once we know that, it is a pure capacitance. So what is the phase between the voltage and current? Current leads the voltage by an angle 90 degree. So with that understanding, V is equal to Vm sin omega t, 314 t, and I, because it is a pure capacitance, 32.53 amperes sin 314 plus pi by 2. You have to remember this. You have to put the units also. This is ampere and this is volts. Okay, similarly, inductor problem is there. You can solve it on the similar line. Next one is the RC circuit. Now we have the understanding of R, L and C. Now we have a combination of RL, a pure resistor is connected with a pure inductor, and this series combination is connected across a voltage source. When we apply a voltage, V is equal to Vm sin omega t, the voltage will get dropped across resistor and inductor. Voltage across the resistor is VR, voltage across the inductor is VL. Now we will draw the phasor diagram for this. Now it will result in the current. Now both are in series, both will have the same current. Same current I will flow in R, same current I will flow in the inductor. Now in case of a pure resistance, we know the relation between the voltage VR and the current. What is that? Both are in phase. So if I draw the phasor diagram, let us say I is the RMS value of the current, VR is the RMS value of the voltage across the resistor. I have this as VR and this as I. Both are in phase, both are in the same line for resistance. For pure inductance, VL is the voltage across the inductor, I is the current. What is the relation? The current I will lag the voltage VL by an angle 90 degree. So you can see this is VL and current is lagging by 90 degree. Just assume that, okay, just assume that you are going to rotate this one anti-clockwise so that I comes on the x-axis and VL comes on the y-axis, and you join both of these. So I will have this one first. I have VR and I'm rotating. I'm just imagine this is rotated through 90 degree. I would be x-axis and VL would be y-axis. You join it here, I and VL. So make sure that the relation is correct. VR is the voltage across the resistance and I. Both are in phase. And VL is the voltage across the inductor, and current I lags this voltage by an angle 90 degree. Now this is VR, this is VL. If we join these 2 points, this is nothing but the RMS value of the applied voltage V. And from this diagram, okay, so this is a right angle triangle. We can have V square is equal to VR square plus VL square, or V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL square. And this is the angle. So this is the applied voltage and this is the resulting current. You can easily write the equation. What is this? V is already given as Vm sin omega t, and if you see the I resulting current is lagging by an angle phi. What would be the equation for the I? I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. So from that triangle, we can write V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL square. Okay, square is missing. It should be there. And what is the VR? What is VR? Same Ohm's law. I into R. What is VL? I into XL. Many times you make a mistake. I into L. It is not I into L. It is I into XL. XL is omega L or 2 pi FL. Substituting those values, we know that VR is IR, VL is IXL, I square will come out of the square root, V is equal to V is equal to I into square root of R square plus XL square. Therefore, I is equal to what? V by square root of R square plus XL square, or V by I is equal to square root of R square plus XL square. Always remember, V by I ratio is the opposition. And what is the opposition here? Square root of R square plus XL square, and it is called as a impedance Z. Therefore, Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL square, or I can write I is equal to V by Z, or V is equal to I into Z. Now, phase angle, already we saw the equation for the given voltage is what? V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Current is I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. How we wrote this equation? It is from the phasor diagram. Okay, try to understand the phasor diagram. This is the applied voltage V, which is given as V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and this is the resulting current we got, and this is the angle phi, and the current is lagging the voltage by an angle phi. Okay, that is how we get the equation. V is equal to Vm sin omega t, I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. So the current will start after an angle phi. This is voltage and this is dotted is the current. And from the phasor diagram, okay, from this triangle, we can always easily find the phi. So this is the triangle. This side is V, this side is VL, this side is VR. So we can find out the angle as tan phi. What would be the tan phi is equal to VL opposite divided by VR. And what is VL? I into XL, VR I into R. I will get cancelled, XL by R. So how do we find the phase angle? Tan phi is equal to VL by VR or XL by R. And impedance, it is the opposition offered to the flow of the current by RL circuit, and it is given as Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL square. And what would be the power? instantaneous value of P is equal to instantaneous value of V into instantaneous value of I. That is, V is Vm sin omega t, I is Im sin omega t minus phi, because it is a RL circuit. And if you simplify this one, okay, so that simplification is very clear. You can go through the steps. What you get is P is equal to Vm Im cos phi by 2, or it can be represented, this is the peak value. Always remember this formula as a RMS value. RMS value, or the average value of the power P, is equal to V into I into cos phi, where V is the RMS value of the applied voltage, I is the RMS value of the current, and cos of phi. Cos phi is nothing but the power factor. Phi is angle between this voltage and this current. How do we find this phi? We know that tan phi is equal to VL by VR or XL by R. With that, you can remember the triangle. Okay, this is the voltage triangle. This side VR, this angle is phi. It is not drawn. This angle is phi. This is VR is equal to IR. This side is VL, IXL. This side is V applied voltage, I into Z. Just if you take out the I, what will remain? Z will remain here, XL will remain here, R will be, we call this as a impedance triangle. This angle is phi. Okay, so therefore tan phi, if you remember these two triangles, voltage triangle and the impedance triangle, tan phi is what? XL by R, or if it is voltage, VL by VR. That is how you can find out. And what is Z? Square root of R square plus XL square. So, and what is cos phi? Cos phi is a power factor. Cos phi is, if you apply, this is the angle phi. Okay, that is not drawn. This is phi. What is cos of this angle? R upon Z, adjacent upon hypotenuse. And what is the power? P is equal to VI cos phi. And power in case of a AC power, in case of a AC, is given by the most generic equation, P is equal to VI cos phi. You remember what is the power consumed in pure resistance? P is equal to VI. Why we got it as VI? Because phi is 0. Okay, voltage between the angle between voltage and current in terms of a, in case of a resistance, is 0. Cos of 0 is 1. That's why we got it as P is equal to VI. So you have to remember the most generic equation, P is equal to VI cos phi. On the similar lines, RC series circuit, in case of a RC series circuit, we have R and C connected in series across a voltage supply. V is equal to Vm sin omega t. VR is the voltage across the resistor. Vc is the voltage across the capacitor. And relation between this will result in a current. Okay, the same current will flow. The relation between current and the voltage in case of a resistance, both are in phase. The relation between Vc and the current leads the voltage by an angle 90 degree. So we will draw separate phasor diagram for R. This is VR and I. This is for the resistance, and for the capacitance, current is leading the voltage by an angle 90 degrees. So this is voltage and current is leading by an angle 90 degree. Now just imagine you rotate this phasor clockwise by 90 degree, so that you get I here and VC here, and we combine these two phasor diagram. We touch this over here. How do we get? We get this as VR and this as minus VC, and this is I. So again we will check the relation. In case of a resistance, VR and I are in phase, means the angle between them is 0, and minus VC. This is the VC. The current is leading the voltage across the capacitor by 90 degree. And if we join these 2 points O and B, that is nothing but the applied voltage V. So applied voltage V, this is VR, this is minus VC, and this is angle phi. Now you can see from this phasor diagram, this is the applied voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and this is the resulting current I. And you can see it is leading the voltage by an angle phi. If V is Vm sin omega t, then I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi. Okay, this is plus phi. That is how we can infer. And same, V is equal to square root of VR square minus VC square. Okay, and VR is I into R, VC is I into XC. From the phasor diagram, what we get? V is equal to square root of VR square plus minus Vc square, which we get it as this is I into R, this is I into Xc, I square will come out. V is equal to I into square root of R square plus Xc square. Okay, or V by I is equal to square root of RC square plus Xc square. V by I ratio is nothing but the impedance. Therefore, what is the impedance? It is the opposition offered. In this case, it is opposition offered by the RC series combination to the flow of the current. Therefore, Z is equal to square root of R square plus Xc square in case of a RC circuit, or I is equal to V by Z, or V is equal to I into Z. And how do we find the phase angle? You have to go to the same. If you remember this phasor diagram, tan phi, again same, tan phi is equal to minus Vc by Vr, or minus Xc by R. Once you understand one diagram, same thing can be applied to others. Tan phi is equal to minus Vc by Vr, Vc is I into Xc, Vr is I into R, therefore minus Xc by R. Now, how to represent the voltage? It starts from 0, V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and current starts angle phi earlier, that is it leads. I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi. So, it will start somewhere here. If you trace it back, this angle is nothing but the phi. So, current is leading the voltage. Even before the voltage starts, the current will be starting angle by an angle phi. And what is the power consumed in the RC circuit? Power consumed in the instantaneous value P is equal to V into I. V is Vm sin omega t. I is what? Im sin omega t plus phi, because it's a RC circuit. Or we can say, what is the power consumed in the RC circuit? Power consumed in the RC circuit is sum of power in resistance plus power consumed in the capacitance. What is the power consumed in resistance? We know I square R. What is the power consumed in a pure capacitor? We already proved it as 0. So this is 0. I square R, I am going to rewrite it as IR into I. And this current I am going to write it in terms of the impedance V by Z. Why V by Z? V is equal to I into Z. Okay, I is equal to V by Z. Now, I rearrange this equation. V into I, R by Z. And what is R by Z? From the voltage triangle or the impedance triangle, R by Z is nothing but the cos of the angle between voltage and I. So this is nothing but cos phi, power factor. Therefore, P is equal to VI cos phi. We get the same formula. So you have to remember this diagram. This is R, this is minus Xc and Z. From that, you can derive all the equations. You need not remember any kind of a equations. So here we have a pure simple RC circuit problem, a pure inductance of L 3.8 millihenry. So make sure that you represent it in Henry. So this is 3.18 into 10 raised to minus 3. L is connected in series with a pure resistance 75 ohm. This is 75 ohm. Then this circuit is supplied from 50 hertz source. F is 50 hertz source. The voltage across 75 ohm is found to be 150. So they have given VR value. So VR is 150 volt. What we have to find? Calculate the supply voltage and phase angle. Supply voltage is capital V, that we have to find. Phase angle is this voltage angle between the voltage and the current. And if we draw the phasor diagram, this would be like VR and I are in phase, and this is VL. Okay? This is the applied voltage. Now from this, the current lags the voltage by an angle phi. Now in this particular diagram, R value is given, VR is given. We know V is equal to IR, right? VR is equal to I into R, or I is equal to VR by R, 150 by 75, 2 amperes. What is 2 amperes? 2 amperes is the RMS value of the current. The same current will flow in both. Now, frequency is given, we can find XL. XL is equal to 2 pi FL. We get it as 100 ohm. Now, we know XL, and we know 2 amperes is flowing here. VL is equal to I into XL. Okay, VL is equal to I into XL. I is 2 amperes, XL is 100. Therefore, VL is 200. Once VR is given, we calculated VL. from the voltage triangle, we can write V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL square, which comes as 250 volt. And what is the impedance of the circuit? We can impedance Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL square. We get it as 125 volt. And once we know the value of Z, value of I is known, V is equal to I into Z. I is 2 and Z is 125. We get it as 250 volt. So RMS value of the applied voltage is 250 volt. Now we have to find the angle between the voltage and the current. We can use the tan phi. Tan phi is equal to, either you can use VL by VR, already that is known, or XL by R, that is also known. Both will give the same value. You get it as 1.33. Phi is equal to tan inverse of 1.33. So you have to remember, you have to use this as a radian. This is a radian value. We get it as 53.06 lag. Now what is the equation? If they ask you to write the instantaneous value of the equation, from 250 you can find the peak value Vm. Therefore I is equal to Im, omega is 2 pi f, f is 50, that is 314 t, and current is what? I is equal to, you can find the RMS value of the current, Im into sine of 314 t minus 53.06. That angle you have to write. Similarly, you can do the RC. RC is on the similar lines. There is no change. Whatever the analysis we saw for one circuit, on the similar lines, you can do the other circuit. And there are other many problems in the VK Mehta that you can refer. In the exam, the problems will not be repeated. The concepts will be repeated. So RLC analysis is very similar. Okay, let me see if there is RLC analysis or RLC example. Okay, this. It is not in the notes. This is RC. There are problems. This is from VK. Okay, RLC series circuit. So in case of a RLC circuit, we have R, L, and C connected in series. VR is the voltage across the resistance. VL is the voltage across the inductance. VC is the voltage across the capacitance. V is the applied voltage. So if we draw the phasor diagram and combine, VR, this is OA, and I, both are in phase. Now, in case of a pure inductance, current lags the voltage by an angle 90 degree. Now AB is nothing but the VL. So this is VL and this is I. Current is lagging the VL by an angle 90 degree. And in case of a capacitance, current leads the voltage by an angle 90 degree. So you can see AC is nothing but the value of the voltage VC. Now you can see this is VC and this is I. Current is leading the voltage by an angle 90 degree. Now you can see this VL and VC are in the same line. So we can find effective voltage by taking VL minus VC. Here we assumed VL is greater than VC, so we get it as VL minus VC. So this is the VL minus AD is VL minus VC, and if I join O and that D, I get the applied voltage. So this is V and this side VR and this side of the triangle VL minus VC. So if I apply the Pythagorean theorem, V is equal to square root of VR square plus VL minus VC square. That is how we are going to get. VR is I into R, VL I into XL, VC I into XC. So if I take I square outside, what will remain? I into square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Therefore, I is equal to V by square root of R square plus whole XL minus XC whole square. And what is this? This is nothing but the opposition offered by the RLC circuit to the flow of the current, that is called as a impedance. Therefore, in case of a RLC, Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. And if I want to find the power factor, cos phi is equal to R by Z from the same triangle. Okay, R by Z. I know the value of R and know the equation for the Z. Tan phi in terms of the voltage. So in terms of the voltage, this is VL minus VC divided by VR, or it will be XL minus XC divided by R. You can see here, tan phi is equal to VL minus VC divided by VR, or XL minus XC divided by R. And if you try to find the power consumed, it will come as P is equal to VI cos phi. Now, because we have XL minus XC here, in case of a impedance, you can see XL minus XC. This phasor diagram will change depending upon the value of the VL and VC. Let us say if VL is greater than VC, so present phasor diagram where it is assumed VL is greater than VC, you can see this is the resulting voltage and this is the applied voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t, and this is the resulting current. So current is lagging the voltage by an angle phi. So if this is V is equal to Vm sin omega t, then I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi. Let us say VL is less than VC, means VC is greater than VL. Then this side you will get the VL minus VC value will be a negative value, and this this D point will come somewhere here. Okay, that time this is the applied voltage V is equal to Vm sin omega t. This is the angle phi, and current is leading because it is more capacitive. Whenever VL is greater than VC, it will behave as a RL circuit. When VC is greater than VL or XC is greater than XL, it will behave like a RC circuit. In case of RC circuit, current will lead the voltage by an angle phi. So in that equation, I is equal to Im sin omega t plus phi. Let us say both are equal, VL minus VC. If both are equal, this value will become 0. So D will come to the point A. So what will happen? V is equal to VR. Means what? As if these two are not there, it will behave as a pure resistive circuit. So those are the three different scenarios we have. XL minus XC is positive, means XL is greater than XC. In that case, the current will lag the voltage by an angle phi. If XC is greater than XL, current will lead the voltage by an angle phi. And if both are equal, then circuit will behave as a pure resistive, angle phi is equal to 0. Therefore, if V is equal to Vm sin omega t, then I is equal to Im sin omega t plus or minus phi. So it depends, plus or minus, it depends whether Xc is greater than XL or XL is greater than Xc, or both are equal. And if you draw the impedance triangle, this is R, XL minus XC and Z. Using this, you can easily solve the problems. So we can consider one example here. A 230 volt 50 hertz AC supply. Okay, RMS value of the voltage V is given, F is 50 hertz. To a coil of L is given 0.06 Henry and 2.5 ohm resistance, 6.8 microfarad capacitance. Calculate impedance. So Z is equal to square root of R square plus XL minus XC square. Current we have to find. Phase angle between current and voltage, that is phi. Power factor cos of phi. Power consumed P is equal to VI cos phi. First thing you have to find is XL and XC. Never use these values in the equation. Okay, many a time I see like the common mistake is you directly use these values, which will give incorrect values. These are not opposition. XL is opposition, XC is opposition. First calculate XL. XL is equal to 2 pi FL. It comes as 18.85 ohms. XC is equal to 1 by 2 pi FC. 10 raised to 6. If you put substitute, you get it as 468 ohm. Now you know the R, you know XL, you know XC. So formula for impedance is this. And if you substitute the values, you get it as the impedance as 449.2. Now if you see the XC value 468 and XL value 18.85, and if you see the resistance is also less 2.5. So this circuit will more behave like a very close to a capacitor or a RC circuit. Then you find I is equal to V by Z. Okay, V is given 230. You get it as 0.512 ampere. Tan phi from the impedance triangle XL minus XC divided by R, you get it as minus 179.66. If you find the angle 89.7 degree lead. Now you can see in the case of a pure capacitor, current leads the voltage by an angle 90 degree. Because there is a little bit resistance, it is leading by 89.7. Okay. Then what is the power factor? Cos phi is equal to R by Z. You get it as power factor is almost, you get it as 0. Okay. Power factor is highest when we have the pure resistive circuit. Okay. If it is a pure resistive circuit, R by R, that is 1. Okay. That is the highest value of the power factor. What is the power consumed? Because it is predominantly a capacitive circuit, almost 0. P is equal to VI cos phi 230. If you calculate 0.656 watt, very little power is consumed. So this is how you can solve the many of the problems. With that, so we have to find real power, reactive power, and apparent power. We will see what is those real power, apparent power, and reactive power. So that is a power triangle. I have more problems in the notes. You can refer that. Okay. For the power. Similar to the voltage triangle and the impedance triangle, we can have the power triangle. Okay. Here we are. Okay, so consider a current is lagging the voltage RL circuit. The current is lagging the voltage by an angle phi. If I find the two components, okay, if I resolve this current I into x-axis and y-axis, on the x-axis I get it as I cos phi, and on the y-axis I get it as sin phi. Now this is the voltage V, and I cos phi is in phase with the voltage V, and I sin phi is lagging the voltage by an angle 90 degree. So if I multiply the voltage V here, what I get is this component is Vi cos phi, and this component, okay, you just assume you slide it to this point, okay, that is this point. This is Vi sin phi. So I'm multiplying the voltage V to all. So this is Vi cos phi, this is Vi sin phi, this is Vi. So this hypotenuse I get it as Vi, this is Vi cos phi, and this is Vi sin phi. This is called as the a power triangle, where the P Vi cos phi is the active power or the true power, Q is equal to Vi sin phi, it's a reactive power, and V into I is apparent power. The active power is represented as capital P, which we already saw. Capital Q is used for representing the reactive power. Capital S is used for representing the apparent power. And what is the definition of the apparent power? Apparent power is represented as capital S. Total power that appears to be transferred between the source and the load is called as the apparent power. And what is the formula? S is equal to voltage into current. If you remember this power triangle, then all the formulas can be easily remembered. And what would be the unit? Volt amperes, because S is equal to V into I, volt amperes. And what is true power? True power is the actual power that is consumed. The power which is actually consumed in the circuit is called as the true power or the active power. It is given as P is equal to Vi cos phi and represented as watts. And next one is the reactive power. The reactive component of the apparent power, which is neither consumed or does any useful work in the circuit, is called as a reactive power. Reactive power. So reactive power doesn't do any kind of a useful work. Active power is the one which does the active like useful work in the circuit. So this is given by reactive power is given as Q is equal to Vi sin phi, and unit is volt ampere reactive, VAR, volt ampere reactive. Okay. that completes this part. In the next tomorrow's class, we will see three-phase AC circuits, and also we will see single-phase transformer. Please, I request all of you to read before coming to the class so that it will be more useful for you.